The Christian prayer will be done by Pastor Vijay Govardhan, the Hindu prayer by Mr. Jai Gobind Ram Kisoon, and the Muslim prayer by Mr. Shazad Chinapen. We'll begin with the Christian prayer, followed by the Hindu prayer, and then the Muslim prayer. Mr. Govardhan?
Thank you, Mr. Vimin. Pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you. Let us bow our head in a word of prayer. Lord God Almighty, we give you thanks and praise, O Lord, for this lovely day, for the gift of life, and more so, O Lord, for the opportunity to celebrate, O Lord. We thank you, O God, for this moment that has come by to us. And we pray, O God, that you bless our program here this evening, this afternoon. We pray, O God, that you continue to bless the members of our work team who have endured and who have excelled by exercising their energy, O Lord, and they have become awarded for their performance. We thank you, O Lord, for the energy that you have put into them, for the blessings upon their family, who have kept them well. We pray, O God, that you may continue to bless them with energy to even do better amid the challenges they may have faced. Continue to bless our management team, O Lord, led by our chief executive as well, our union leaders, and our team together to work as one Gaisipu, that we can excel and continue to rise above every challenge, every difficult moment, and all that come by, O God. You said, O Lord, in everything give thanks, and we are thankful, O Lord, that whatever you have blessed us with, we can enjoy and we can celebrate. This day we ask your blessings upon this program and all of us here. In your name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a pleasant afternoon. Let me say good afternoon. I just want to join with Mr. Govardhan in saying thank you to the Almighty. For him intervention, we wouldn't have been here. So for those who want to raise their hand, they can. They won't have to, but we pray. Om Namaschandikaye Namaha Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev Vakratunda Mahakaye Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakayushu Sarvara Vishwani Deva Savitara Duritani Parasua Yadvadram Tanasua Hiranyagarbha Samavartatagri Utasya Jata Padre Kayasit Saradhara Prativim Jamuti Imam Kashmai Deva Havishavidhim Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll be doing the Muslim prayer, so you can all join with me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azabannar. Wadkhilnal jannata ma'al abrar. يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
You may have your seat, please. Mr. Paul Chung, Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Sugar Corporation. Mr. C. Paul Narayan, Member of Parliament and President of the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, GAU. Other officials of Gaisuku and GAU. And most importantly, you, our most productive cane harvesters for the second crop of 2024, and your respective spouses. I bid you a warm welcome to the Guyana Sugar Corporation's Most Productive Cane Harvesters Award Ceremony. Employees' recognition is paramount in enabling a motivated workforce, and combined with ability, motivation is key to performance. We here at Gaisuku are very much cognizant of this, and at the commencement of the second crop of 2024, through the initiative of our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Paul Chung, an incentive of $500,000, $300,000, and $200,000 respectively for the top 3 most productive cane harvesters from our 4 grinding estates was introduced. The second crop has now concluded, and the 3 most productive cane harvesters have been determined. Hence, we are here today to recognize the efforts of those 12 individuals. And I would ask that we give them a round of applause. I want to congratulate all 12 of our most productive cane harvesters, but not to forget the efforts of their partner. I'm very certain that their partner, and I'm referring here to their spouse, would have played an integral role in their achievement. And I want to commend all of the spouses that are here today, and I would ask that we also give them a round of applause. To move on with the program, I would like to call on the estate manager of Albion Port Brant Estate, Mr. Hutton Oswald Griffith. Of course, Albion Port Brant Estate is the host estate for this function. And I will ask Mr. Griffith to make some brief remarks. Mr. Griffith.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. CEO, President of GAU. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed today is a very special occasion for us. The industry, Guyana Sugar Corporation as we know it, I would say we're going through some trying times. And I don't want to preempt either the key speakers today, Mr. C. Paul Narayan or Mr. Paul Chung. But I'm the type of person I like to be frank. The industry as we know it is going through some serious challenging times. And as a company and as an industry, it is upon us to ensure that we get this industry back to where it ought to be. Whilst the year 2024 could not be or cannot be regarded as a successful one, we are here this afternoon to honor 12, I will say, distinguished gentlemen. I can speak definitely for the 3 that worked at IFLOT. Whilst I probably know all of them because I worked at all 4 of the estates, I can speak for what transpired at IFLOT for second crop 2024. And I know for sure that these 3 gentlemen have put their all to it. And as the speaker before me would have said, the spouses obviously had to play a role. It's not easy for a spouse to be up in the morning early preparing meals, right, for our harvesters and our workers as a whole to come to work. But, we have to give thanks for your efforts. But I want to get back to the 12 gentlemen that I'm speaking of. A lot of people believe that harvesting cane is as simple as just cutting canes and putting them in the ground or fetching it. Right? I can tell you from where I stand or sit sometimes, harvesting cane, if not the most difficult job that we have in this country, it is one of the most. And my hats off to you gentlemen. As I said, I would have seen the effort that my guys put in, or the guys put in a time for the guys say my guys, because the guys at Albion might feel a little bad if I said my guys, but the guys at Typhloid put in for Second Cup 2024, and I'm aware of the efforts. I must say that I've been looking at the guys at Albion as well, especially the two Takadiral brothers, because I don't know if Mr. Walters will say it, but I think that when you look at the productivity of those two guys, came up higher than everybody else. So definitely, it is remarkable, right? And if you look at these guys, you'll say, well, if you look at them on the road, you might think, they're ordinary guys. But I can tell you from the work that they put out, they're no ordinary men. No ordinary men that we are here today to honor. And I think we should be extremely proud of your efforts. I know there are other persons who are looking forward to this. And again, I don't want to preempt what the CEO may say. I'm not too sure if he'll continue it. But I know for sure that this competition has started. There are many, many more who are looking forward to try and take away the crown from these 12 gentlemen come 2025 first and second crop. But, I want to thank you very much for your efforts. And I know I will speak for my colleagues as well, all the asset managers. We're very proud of you and your achievement. And I hope that you would have set the pace for the other workers on the estate, and so that everybody's productivity can come up. Of course, you know that this also comes with the work quality and work standards. We can't forget that. And the fact that you're here, it says that you would have achieved not only the highest productivity, but good work quality. And I hope that what you would have done can be copied by the others so that the company as a whole can move forward. I want to thank you all, and I wish you all the best and a successful 2025.
Thank you very much, Mr. Griffith, Estate Manager of Albion Portmont Estate. Indeed, we all must applaud the efforts of our most productive cane harvesters. As Mr. Griffith said, cane harvesting is not an easy job. We all know it, despite I'm a human resources practitioner, being around Gaisuku for over 2 decades and more, being around the cultivation, I know what is it, right? Despite the fact that I've never harvested cane. The GAU, of course, is an important stakeholder in the business of Gaisuku. We are very privileged today to have in our midst the president of GAU, Mr. C. Paul Narain. Of course, he's an experienced trade unionist and a man who knows sugar. And of course, as I said earlier on, he's also a member of parliament. May I now invite Mr. C. Paul Narain to make some brief remarks.
Committee Chairman, CEO of Gaisuku, other senior officers of the corporation, ladies and gentlemen, but most importantly, those of you who are here to receive your award. Indeed, your contribution is a remarkable one. It set the stage to demonstrate where and how much we could do in the industry at a time when the industry is facing particularly challenges. I know for a fact, and I want to endorse, the role that the spouses would have played, because the first job I did in Gaisuku, I was planting canes. I have the experience about knowing, I cut cane also. Unlike you, Kamat Billion, you had been always human resources practitioner, but I cut cane too. And Paul Chong too. Paul Chong had his own cane farm. So, comrades, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you I want to urge that you continue. And also the fact that we have already settled our wages for this year. We know that it will be 8% for this year. Already you had 10, and next year it will be 9. This is something that is historic. So it allows you the opportunity to save in the credit union your 8% if you want to get retro. It is going to be low because it's the same money you would have received. So, some concerns that I'm echoing some concerns that I heard that, while we're glad we get the 8% up front, we ain't got no retro. So I put the money in the credit union, and when it's time and you're ready for draw it, it's no expense to you, and it will build interest too. So, this is an option. This is an option, and it allows you to have that saving. It allows you to still continue to work. Gaisuku is facing challenges. The production had been a miserable one last year. And I'm not surprised because I told them in the beginning, they're not going to make 50,000 tons. I said that in the very beginning. I hope that we could be able to recover this year because it is crucial that we do. The industry needs us, and we need the industry too. So on this note, I want to, since I had the opportunity to say to the new estate managers, a special welcome, especially the brand new tree. Always things will shift because you are now in the driver's seat. The responsibility will be on you. I'm not talking about Mr. Horton Griffith because he's experienced. And congratulations also, Shiv, on your new position, and Mr. Goberdan as well. But the point I want to make about the 3 new estate managers is that recovery will depend on how you perform. And, you have Comrade Horton, you have Comrade Shiv, talk to them. They have the experience. And I'm certain that they will help you along. But it is important that we turn around the industry in 2025. If we don't, it's going to have a bleak future for us, which I don't want to happen at all. The fact that I work in sugar my whole life, and I know what people depend on. The fact that I was asked to go many years ago to Europe to defend the sugar industry in Guyana, I am very closely attached to it, and I don't want to see it fall. And I want to urge that we work together in the best effort of everyone, the corporation and the workers. And on that note, from GAU, we are extending a hand of friendship. We want to extend a hand of cooperation. We hope that, as an important stakeholder, we could be able to be engaged on matters that we ought to be engaged with, particularly as it relates to cane cutting. And I saw in the newspapers Gaisuku advertising for people to harvest canes and supply to the factory. I was a little surprised because we were not engaged. And secondly, I noticed that Gaisuku was buying equipment. And if we continue to buy our own equipment, why do we have to reach that point of going to contractors for harvesting? And during last year, there had been some flaws with the contractors who harvested canes. I mean, it's bad to say, but 79 ponds disappear and no investigation. And then secondly, at Blamont, the cane cutters were working with the gang of people, which should never be, because there is always the suspicion that the thieving people kill. Just want to be blunt. No diplomacy on that. But all in all, comrades, I hope that we could have a better year ahead. I hope before the contractors get cane cutting, that the workers will be given enough work so that you, comrades here, and your colleagues could continue to maintain your productivity, continue to earn, because once you reach that level, you depend on that level of earnings for your day-to-day living. So again, I want to take the opportunity to congratulate you. I want to ask that you continue to be good workers, high flyers, encourage our colleagues, because apart from this award, last year we also made some adjustment to the incentive regime, which is fairly decent on people making money once they go out and work. So once more, Comrade Paul Chong, I want to congratulate you. You are now leading the ship. You're not a new CEO anymore. You got to take things in your hand, and you got to ensure we deliver, because everyone will be looking to us to do that. So thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Narayan, the President of the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union. We do look forward to work very closely with not only GAU, but all of the unions in turning around the fortunes of Gaisuku. As Mr. Narayan rightly mentioned, it is paramount for us to turn around Gaisuku in 2025, and that can only be possible through the efforts of all employees, whether you're a manager, whether you're a junior staff, whether you're a worker, and of course, all of the stakeholders, inclusive of the union. Ladies and gentlemen, to continue with our program this afternoon, in our midst is a gentleman who values his employees, an astute and proven leader. He is now tasked to lead Gaisuku, having taken up the position as Chief Executive Officer some 8 months ago. The person I'm speaking about is no other than Mr. Paul Chung, the CEO of Gaisuku, who I will now invite to address us. Let us give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon, Mr. C. Paul Narayan, Member of Parliament and President of the Guyana Agriculture and Workers Union, executives of the Guyana Sugar Corporation, management, other executives and members of the union, GAU, members of the media, and most importantly, our hardworking cane cutters and their family. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's truly an honor to be here this afternoon to recognize and celebrate the hard work and remarkable achievement of you, our cane harvesters, here this afternoon. This most productive cane harvester award ceremony is testament to the crucial role you played in the success of Gaisuku during this second crop. Today, we are not just recognizing productivity, we are celebrating your commitment, your resilience, and rewarding your achievement in this second crop 2024. As all have said, harvesting sugarcane is not an easy task. It demands physical strength, endurance, and unwavering determination to overcome challenges. You, our harvesters, are the backbone of the industry, and your efforts fuel not just our factories, but also our vision for a stronger and more sustainable future for Gaisuku. This initiative is part of the wider organizational effort to build a culture of accountability and accomplishment. I'll repeat that, building a culture
of accountability and accomplishment. It's about much more than rewards. It represents our commitment to creating an environment where everyone is motivated to contribute at their best and are held accountable for their role in achieving our collective goal. By recognizing and rewarding excellence, we set the stage for a more productive, efficient, and engaged workforce. To Siraj, Joshua, Kumar, Amzad, Terence, Rocky, Nigel, Ravel, Terry, Leon, Dudnot, Kioma, congratulations to the highest order. You have set the bar high, and your dedication and your efforts are an example for us and your colleagues. Your hard work not only reflects your personal commitment, but also reinforces the values that we are striving to uphold across Gaisuku. To all our harvesters, whether you're here receiving this award or not, please know that your efforts do not go unnoticed. Every stalk of cane you cut, every punt you load, every extra hour you put in to help move the industry forward, we are deeply grateful for all of that. I believe we stand on the brink of a new chapter for Gaisuku. I'm optimistic, Mr. Paul. I'm optimistic about the journey ahead. The initiatives like this remind us of the importance of teamwork. And we can never turn around this industry unless we do it. The microphone is leaving me. Right. I said, we can never do this unless we do it together. Right? Teamwork is critical and is very important and vital for our success. But no matter how small our tasks may seem, it all adds up to the whole bigger goal that we've set ourselves. So everyone in the industry have a very important role to play to ensure that we achieve our objective. Mr. Chairman, allow me to speak a little on our plans for 2025. One, improvement on procurement and inventory management. This will ensure that we have all our inputs when required. I mean, this is extremely important. I mean, the managers here know, how I emphasize on this. Planting more cane per hectare. This would lead to better weed management or weed control and also higher yield. Timely and precise nutrition application to give the plant the best opportunity to grow. It also includes ensuring that it gets water and also, plant, it needs a top three things are important, apart from pest management and weed management. Sunlight, water, and nutrition. Right? Once we get those three things, it will grow. And we have to do the other, ensure that we control pests and other parasites like grass. Right? Timely and precise nutrition application, as I said, give the plant the best opportunity to grow. Timely and effective weed management strategy to achieve one, I know the cane harvest, so I'm very concerned with this, less obstacle and higher yield. We're not in the business of growing grass, we're in the business of growing, even though sugarcane is a grass, I mean, you know which grass I'm talking about. We're in the business of growing sugarcane. Improve recoveries, right? Reduce the bond to grind ratio, better cane supply to the factory, and this is one of the reasons why we advertise for harvesting machines.
because every year you have to renew those things because the contract is from year to year. So that we can have the factories then run continuously. The stop-start is not good for the factories or the industry. It result in high TCTS, which is not good, right? Ramp up our marketing and distribution strategies to sell more products downstream and to help and to increase our revenue. Number 7, training and development. We will continue to focus on training and development to ensure that we have the requisite skills to undertake all the tasks required to run the industry efficiently. I would like to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, our Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, and the government as a whole, the Chairman of Board of Directors, for all the support they have and are continuing to give to the industry as we strive for excellence. The just concluded 3-year salary increase package, the more than 50 billion injected into the corporation, is a testimony to the commitment of the PPC government to the workers and industry. And I want to say that no other government other than the PPPC would have done this for the industry. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our management and the entire team at Gaisuko for your effort. In closing, I want to thank everyone who has made this event possible, to our management team, staff, stakeholders, in particular the union, because they play a vital role to ensuring our workforce are motivated and stay focused. Your support ensures that our initiative like this can continue and strive. Let us use this occasion to remind ourselves of the strength and resilience here within Gaisuko and the potential we have when we work together. Here's to a productive and prosperous future for the corporation and the sugar industry. Thank you and congratulations again to the persons who have won their awards. Let us take the same mindset of determination and hard work into the first crop of 2025. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul Chung, the Chief Executive of the Guyana Sugar Corporation. Mr. Chung did outline his plans for the corporation that will enable a turnaround. And I'm sure that once those plans are implemented and the necessary follow-ups and evaluations are done, certainly we can see Gaisuku indeed turning around. But as I would have mentioned earlier on, the success of Gaisuku depends on its people. And when I'm referring to people, I'm referring to people at all levels. So we all have an obligation to ensure that we do whatever we are required to do to the best of our ability, and so that the cooperation can be successful. Of course, you 12 most productive cane harvesters for the second crop of 2024, you now will have to see yourselves as role model for the others. I'm sure across the industry, if my memory serves me right, we currently have just over 2,070 cane harvesters in our employ. And I'm sure, with the exception of you, well, I'm sure that all of you would want to come again and do well, but all the others will want to emulate you and also do well. So you have set yourself high standards, and you will now have to maintain that. We move on with our program this afternoon, and we move into the presentation of the awards. We will begin with the third most productive cane harvesters. Whilst the individual will be up there to receive his award, I'll have the HR manager of Albion. Sorry, I'll start with Blairmont, and then Rosal, followed by Albion, who will present to us a profile of the awardee. So, Mr. Kiwanis Spark, who is the Human Resources Manager at Blairmont, he will present to us the profiles of the third most productive cane harvesters. And we will begin, first of all, with the West. They say these days the West side is the best side. So we begin with the West, and I would like to invite Mr. I'm now being told that there are a lot of men from the West side on the head table. Am I correct, gentlemen? All right, that's just by the way. So we begin with IFLUT, and I will ask our third most productive cane harvester, Mr. Kimona Pilgrim, to please step forward. We have a young and I will ask the Agriculture Manager of Blairmont Estate, Mr. Sarwan Mohabir, to assist us with this presentation. Mr. Pilgrim will be receiving a check to the value of 200 Guyana dollars. 200,000, my apologies. You see, when it comes to MONEY, the ears are very sharp, along with the certificate. So let's give him a round of applause.
Mr. Kiyoma Akim Adolphus Pilgrim, our third most productive cane harvester, IFLUT Estate. He was employed as a planter on July 25th, 2017, and he worked there for 2 years until he was transferred to the spray gang as a spray hand, after which he was transferred to the PLC gang as a cane harvester and continues to work there presently. He has harvested 743.20 tons of canes, representing an average of 6.46 tons of cane per day. His attendance record for the crop was 115 days out of 120 days, representing 96%. Mr. Pilgrim's acceleration to the number 3 position is truly commendable throughout the crop. He was not in contention for the prize, but his persistency, commitment, and determination allowed him to surpass his colleagues who were ahead of him. This is an indication of his hard work, dedication, and faithfulness to the estate. He is a single father to 2 children. Mr. Pilgrim's hobby is playing football. Congratulations are in order to Mr. Kiyoma Akim Adolphus Pilgrim.
We move on to Albion. Sorry, Blairmont. We move on to Blairmont, and I would now like to ask Mr. Park to present the profile of the estate's third most productive harvester.
Blairmont Estate's third most productive cane harvester is Mr. Terry Nelson Edwards. Put your hands together for him. Mr. Edwards was employed with Guyana Rosal Estate as a cane harvester in 1993, and he was attached to the Harvesting P Gang. And in 2018, that was January of 2018, he was transferred to Blairmont Estate as a cane harvester, attached to the 6P Gang, where he works currently. During the second crop of 2024, he harvested 826.778 tons of canes, representing an average of 6.3 tons of cane per day. His attendance record for the crop was 131 days out of 133 days, representing 98.5%. Mr. Edwards is well respected within his community and among his peers. He is a husband and a father of 6 children and a grandfather of 9. He is committed to his family and dedicated towards his work. Mr. Edwards has a very cool demeanor and displays the attributes of an individual who is motivated, driven, and can influence behavioral change among his peers for the good of the corporation. Put your hands together again and congratulations.
Mr. James Thomas, the Agriculture Manager acting at Albion, is assisting us with this presentation. We move on to Rosal. I would like to ask Mr. Deodat Suku, the company's Chief Industrial Relations Manager, to assist us with this presentation. Mr. Park, please present us with the profile.
The third most productive cane harvester for Rosal Estate for the second crop of 2024, Mr. Rocky Lashley. Mr. Rocky Lashley is a 44-year-old and resides at Wallace Street, Cumberland, East County, Barbies, with his wife and 3 children. Mr. Lashley was employed on July 24, 2022, and has 2 years and 5 months of service with the corporation. Mr. Lashley is attached to the Harvesting Sea Gang, bearing pay list number 2207115. During the second crop of 2024, he was required to work 108 days, of which he worked 82 days, achieving 96% attendance, and he cut 516.78 tons of cane at an average daily productivity of 6.30 tons. Mr. Lashley is a very quiet person with a positive attitude. He is a very hard-working individual, and he is not only a cane harvester, but a cattle and poultry farmer. Congratulations to Mr. Rocky.
And our final, third most productive cane harvester, and that is from Albion Port Morant Estate. I would like to invite the Agriculture Manager acting of Rosal Estate, Mr. Jaigobin Ramkisoon, to assist us with this presentation. Mr. Park.
While we know the west side is the best side, but we also know that the best come from the east, okay? So at this time, for the third most productive cane harvester for Albion Port Morant Estate, I would like to call on Mr. Kumar Deodat. Mr. Kumar Deodat, he joined the corporation Albion Port Morant Estate on the 18th of February 2013 as a general agriculture worker. He was made a permanent cane harvester during 2015. His attendance record for the crop was 119 days out of 120 days, representing 99%. Mr. Deodat is attached to the 14D gang and has harvested 898.962 tons of cane, and he is considered to be the third most productive cane harvester for the second crop, 2024. He is married, and he has 2 children, and he's the owner of a home. This was achieved by working at the estate. Let's say congratulations to Mr. Kumar Deodat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kiwanis Park, Human Resources Manager of Claremont Estate. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the second most productive cane harvesters, and we will commence again with IFLOT. These individuals will be receiving 300,000 Guyana dollars in check, along with a certificate of recognition. May I invite Mr. Pawan Baldio, the Human Resources Manager of Rosal Estate, to assist us with the profiles, and Mr. Mohindranath Budram, Estate Manager of Blairmont Estate, to make the first presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. I would like to call on Mr. Dudnak Gobin, second most productive worker from Iflot Estate. Mr. Gobin was employed as a planter on February 14, 2002 and worked there for 3 years until he was transferred to the HA gang, cane harvesting gang, and subsequently to the PLC cane harvesting gang as a cane harvester, where he continued work at present. Mr. Gobin's commitment and dedication to Iflot Estate is a reflection of his performance. He harvested 767.28 tons of cane, representing an average of 7.83 tons of cane per day. His attendance record for the period, the second crop, out of 117 days, he would have worked 98 days, reflecting 84% attendance. Mr. Gobin always gave good advice and helping hand to his fellow colleagues. He is a husband and a father of 3 children. Mr. Gobin's extracurricular activity is farming and also is a very pleasant individual. So can we put our hands together for Mr. Gobin?
We now move on to Blairmont Estate, second most productive cane harvester. I would like to call upon the Estate Manager of Albion Estate, Mr. Hutton Griffith, to assist us with the presentation.
I would like to call on Mr. Tevil Isaiah Lovell from Blairmont Estate, the second most productive cane harvester. Mr. Lovell was employed with Gaisuku in the year 2015 as a cane harvester attached to the 6P harvesting gang. His performance duties as a drawdown hand during the period 2024 out of crop and returned to normal harvesting activity in the second crop of 2024. During the second crop, he would have harvested 918.26 tons of cane, representing an average of 7.3 tons of cane per day. He would have worked 125 days out of 133 days available, reflecting 93.9% attendance. Mr. Lovell is a disciplined employee who has shown much interest in his job. Apart from being regular and punctual on his job, he is willing to go the extra mile to ensure whatever target he set for himself, he achieves. He is a husband and a father of 2 children and is a mentor to whom he interacts with. Can we put our hands together to congratulate Mr. Lovell?
May I now invite the Estate Manager acting of Iflot Estate, Mr. Naresh Narayan, to assist us with the second most productive cane harvester presentation to the Rosal awardee.
Well, this individual is no stranger to me because I am attached to Rosal Estate. This is one of the most calm, collective, individual cane harvester that I would have known. Can we put our hands together to welcome Mr. Terence Random Ford, second productive cane harvester of Rosal Estate. Mr. Ford is 47 years of age and resides at Headboard Village on the east bank of Borbis with his wife and 5 children. Mr. Ford is employed on September 28, 2023 when Rosal Estate recommenced grinding operation, and he has 1 year, 3 months of service with the corporation. Mr. Ford is attached to the HC gang during the second crop. He would have required to work 111 days, out of which he would have worked 104 days, achieving 94% attendance. He would have cut 600.81 tons of cane at a daily productivity of 5.77 tons. Mr. Ford is a very quiet person with a positive attitude, unwavering commitment to his work. He treats everyone with respect and inspires those around him to do the same. He always displays love for his work. He is one individual who takes pride in cutting cane. Congratulations to Mr. Terence Landon Ford. We truly appreciate you and your hard work.
And our final, second most productive cane harvester, I would like to invite the agriculture manager acting of Rosal Estate to assist us with the presentation, and that is to the Wardy of Albion.
I would like to call upon Mr. Joshua Takudiar, second most productive cane harvester. Mr. Joshua Takudiar would have joined Guyana Albion Portmont Estate on the 31st of July 2022 as a cane harvester in the 70B harvesting gang at the age of 31 years. During the year 2024, he would have made permanent cane harvester. His attendance record for the crop is 121 days out of 121 days, achieving 100% attendance. Mr. Takudiar harvested for the second crop 1,344.63 tons of cane. And was just mere 3.6 tons away from his brother, who would have captured the most tonnage, averaging 11.2 tons per day. And Mr. Takudiar is not just a good cane harvester. He is a very productive family man also. Mr. Takudiar is married with 5 children. He has his own home and achieved this home through the estate work. So let us once again put our hands together for Mr. Takudiar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pawan Baldeo, Human Resources Manager of Rosal Estate. Indeed, Mr. Takudial, very productive, right? 11.2 tons of cane per day. And I tell you what, the data on a weekly basis submitted to my office. And when you look at this data coming out of the estate, I had the cause, along with Mr. Suku, on numerous occasions to ask the finance manager and the assistant finance manager to recheck. Because at times, especially at the beginning of the crop, it looks almost that it was not possible. But then when they rechecked, they said yes, and yes, and yes. So thereafter, I know that indeed, Mr. Takudial and his brother, because they were at one time together, and then you had this minor separation, as Mr. Baldeo said, of just 3 tons. So we move on to the most productive cane harvesters. And we will again commence with IFLOT. May I invite Mr. Shazad Chinupen, the Human Resources Manager of Albion Port Moreton Estate, to assist us with the presentation of the profiles. And the first presentation, Mr. Tribhuwan Shiprasad, to assist us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Walter. It gives me great pleasure this afternoon to present to you the most productive cane harvesters from all 4 estates. And as Mr. Walter said, IFLOT Estate, Mr. Leon Sealal. Can we invite him to receive his award? So Mr. Leon Sealal was employed on the 21st of August 2002 as a CWC hand and worked there for 3 years until he was transferred to the 8A gang as a cane harvester, after which he was transferred to the PLC cane harvesting gang for a period of 3 years. He was then transferred to the factory gang as a mason and then back to the PLC as a cane harvester. So he's a quite all-round individual. He is hard-working and dedicated employee who harvested 1.5 tons of canes daily. His productivity has been consistently higher than his colleagues throughout the crop. He harvested 972.6 tons of canes, representing an average of 8.2 tons of canes per day. And a point to note, I think this is a whole shift of grinding for the factory at IFLOT Estate, I believe. A whole shift. All right, his attendance record for the crop was 118 days out of 120, representing 98%. Mr. Sealal is a positive thinking individual who is always willing to go the extra mile, which is very, very scarce in Gaisuku. But the most productive workers setting the examples. He is a husband and a father of 4 children. He has been the estate champion worker in 2013 and 2 times runner-up champion worker in prior years, in previous years. He loves playing the beautiful game of cricket. Congratulations again to Mr. Leon Sealal.
Moving on to Brearmont, of course, the champion or the most productive cane harvester is receiving a check to the value of 500,000 Guyana dollars, and also a plaque. I'd like to call upon Mr. Vijay Govardhan, Manager Factory Engineering, to assist us with this presentation.
So we're heading to my favorite estate, Lemon Estate. Yes? Good. So I worked there for a while. So we're inviting Mr. Nigel Andre McDonald. I believe this is a relative of my good friend, McDonald Raja, the most productive cane harvester of Lemon Estate. So Mr. Nigel Andre McDonald joined the corporation in 2012 as a rat hunter in the 3B gang, then went on to the B2 weeding gang in 2016, where he worked for approximately 2 years. He was subsequently transferred to the B1 gang as a drawdown hand for another 2 years before being transferred to the 6P harvesting gang in 2020. That's when I went to Blaymont Estate. As a cane harvester, he performed temporary duties at drawdown hands. So during the out of crop and during the period, drawdown hands, and returned to his normal cane harvesting activities for the first crop of 2024. Mr. McDonald, during the second crop of 2024, harvested 938.08 tons of cane, representing an average of 7.3 tons of canes per day. Which means we have to increase it from 6.5 to over 6.5, right? His attendance record for the crop was 128 days out of 133, representing 96.2%. Of course, he's a husband and a father of 3 and is very committed, disciplined, and dedicated towards his job. And I hope so his family also. As a family man, Mr. McDonald is well respected in his community and among his peers. He always strives for high ideals and is self-motivated, regular and punctual on his job, as you can see on his attendance, as it is reflected in his attendance, as I said. It's a clear testimony of this fact. And the most productive cane harvester for the second crop of 2024 for Blaymont Estates. Once again, congratulations to Mr. Nigel Andre McDonald.
Moving on to Rosal, and it's my privilege to invite Mr. C. Paul Narayan, the president of GAU, to assist us with this presentation.
So we're over the river, right? So we're at Rosal Estate. So we'd like to invite Mr. Amzad Hussein, the most productive cane harvester of Rosal Estate. Mr. Amzad Hussein is an exceptional individual and stands out in the demanding field of sugar cane harvesting. He was born on June the 22nd, 1972. He is 52 years of age and resides at Heathbourne Village. I think somebody has from Heathbourne Village. So we have a lot of champions from the Heathbourne Village on the east bank of Berbice. Mr. Hussein was employed on October the 23rd, 2023, when Rosal Estate recommenced its grinding operation after the closure in 2017. Mr. Hussein has 1 year, 2 months service with the corporation. Mr. Hussein is the cane harvester attached to the harvesting C-gang with PLS number 23101034, very huge number. During the second crop of 2024, he was required to work 111 days. Hussein Cricket Nelson, right? Out of which he had worked 102 days, achieving 92%. Let us give him a round of applause. He would have harvested 602.66 tons of canes at an daily average productivity of 5.91 tons. Give him a round of applause. Mr. Hussein possesses a strong work ethic, resilience, and deep understanding of the techniques needed to efficiently harvest canes. Mr. Hussein is known for his physical stamina, precision, and safety awareness. We'll have to add the record, see if any add any extra. But it's very good, as he often worked long hours in challenging weather conditions. Once again, congratulations to Mr. Hussein on his outstanding achievement for achieving the most productive cane harvest of Rosal Estate, second crop 2024.
And finally, Albion Port Estate. May I invite the Chief Executive of the Guyana Sugar Corporation, Mr. Paul Chung, to make this presentation.
I think we saved the best for last. Good. So Mr. Park is one of my keys, but he said it. You know, this guy's from his village, all his village. All right, so I'd like to invite Mr. Suraj Kumar Takurdial, the most productive cane harvester of Albion Port Estate and for the cooperation by Suku. Mr. Suraj Kumar Takurdial, cane harvester attached to the Albion Port Estate in the 17B gang. His age is 38 years, 17 years of service. He has a sterling attendance record, working 121 days out of 121 days, 100%. So, guys, please listen to this. 1,348 tons, 0.255 tons of canes for the crop. Please let us give a big round of applause. I think he did something to outsmart his brother, because the other guy is his brother, right? Joshua. So he worked a couple of days more than his brother. I guess he gave him probably some sleeping tablets. All right, so his average is 11.14 tons of canes per day. Almost double the average one of 6.5. During week ending September the 28th, he harvested a whopping 120 tons cane for that week, that particular week. 120 tons cane for that week. Of course, he's married with 3 children, and he is homeowner. He's a homeowner. He owns his own home, I'm sure, through Gaisuku. Mr. Takurdial is the most productive harvester across the industry, like I mentioned before. Let us give him a big round of applause. Once again, special congratulations to Mr. Suraj Kumar Takurdial. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chinipen. Congratulations all. But I have something special for you. And that is a special announcement that will be made by the Chief Executive of Gaisuku, Mr. Paul Chong, who I will now invite to the microphone.
Again, good afternoon, and I speak on behalf of everyone at the head table, and I know those who are not receiving an award, we're very impressed about the performance of all of you guys, and particularly the 2 brothers. You know, what you've shown, not only to people in our fellow workers and our employees in Gaisuku, but to the whole country and to the world, what dedication and hard work can achieve. Congratulations again. Right. A little bit of advice I want to share. I mean, you know, you guys work hard. Cane harvesting is a difficult work. I mean, from a very young age, I grew up, I mean, among, you know, in the cane industry or sugarcane industry, since when there was for sales estate. But so I know about in those days they used to cut and load, right? And cut and load on trailer. But I then about how you work hard for your money. It's important that you save it and you put it into good use, right? Many cane harvesters work and they earn a lot of money, but on the weekend they go home. When they come back the next day, so they don't come back to work Sunday or Monday. They come back to work on Wednesday. When they come to work on Wednesday, the pocket empty. So I mean, you work hard for your money. It's important. I mean that you put it up, you know, invest it in your family, do things that can make your life better, right? I you know, I always tell people I was privileged to work with a man, Edward Bihari, from a young age, and he told me, many of us, he said, money is easy to make, but it's hard to keep. Right? The most difficult thing to do is to keep money, because every time you have money in hand, you see something, you want to buy it. The temptation is there. So you got to curb those temptation and thing, and to save it. I mean, that's the most hard part, to keep it. So just a little bit of advice. But the other thing I want to ask, do you guys want us to continue with this award? Nobody said yes. All right, so we'll continue. I mean, so we will do it again for the first crop in 2025.
So there you had it. We will again have this incentive in place for the first crop of 2025. So let's give the Chief Executive a big round of applause. Just to let you know also that you can take the check to any of the commercial banks to have it deposit or change. I guess all of you have, yeah. all of you have they see, note what he just mentioned, deposit, right? So he's referring to saving. When you change, you're going to have it in your hand. You know what happens. All right? So that is what he's referring to here. So please, I know all of you should have a bank account. There is also the GOG cash grant, which you'll have to deposit in a bank also. So that shouldn't be much of an issue at this point in time. Should you have any difficulty, feel free to engage the human resources manager of your estate. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to the closure of this part of today's proceeding. But before we close, and I invite you to have a meal and thereafter a little cocktail, I want to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt thank you, first of all, to the Chief Executive of Gaisuku for seeing it very fitting to introduce such an incentive scheme. I think we need to give him a very big round of applause. I tell you what, he was on a few days of annual leave, and upon his return, we were discussing when are we going to be having the presentation. And I was telling him that, so much happening, we should defer it perhaps to next week. But he said, no, let us have it done on Saturday, because the fellas have worked hard and they need to be recognized. And of course, I want to take this opportunity also to thank Mr. Deodat Suku and the rest of the HR team who readily took up the challenge and ensured that everything is in place for today's activity. So let us give Mr. Suku and his team a big round of applause. To the management of Albion Port Peralta Estate, Mr. Griffith, Mr. Chinnapen, for readily and willingly accepting to host today's event. We also need you to give them a round of applause. To Mr. C. Paul Narayan and the rest of the officials from GAU for readily accepting our invitation. I know it's a Saturday, there's so much to do, but Mr. Narayan, being a man of the people, always makes himself available. And here he is again today with us. So let us give him a round of applause and a big thank you. I would like to also say a special thank you to the members of the media, the guest house staff here at Albion Port Peralta Estate, and to all those who would have contributed in some way or the other in making today's event a success. But most of all, I want to thank the wives for being that supportive individual to your partner, and you have seen the results of it. And of course, congratulations to the 12 most productive employees who would have received their awards today. So again, congratulations. Thank you very much. And I now invite you to have a meal. The caterers